Hello, so this is the third layout of our pumpkin spice scrapbooking workshop, and like in the previous ones I already divided my stuff between the two pages, and let's get started with the first of the two. So I know it looks a little bit off, but that's my stickers all cut out, and I have to say we used almost everything. So this is what's left of the sticker sheet so far, if I haven't overlooked anything, but these are the few pieces that are left so far, so pretty good use of all of them. All right, so let's get started with pushing these aside here, and these ones for now, and then this cluster. And let's get the photo mats assembled. Just remember they have two sides. We are using the lighter side of the mink, the gray paper. This goes in the center. That's a 3x4. And this is a 4x6. And I cut them as requested in the workshop kit, 1/4 of an inch bigger. That's why you have a nice mat. If you do it like I normally would do, I would cut the paper at 4x6 and then cut my photo down just a 1/4 inch, and that will work too. So this piece goes on the bottom, and we're about 1/2 inch from the bottom and each side. So if I line up my paper correctly, then we're about here. Usually I eyeball, but while we have the grid here, we might as well use it. Okay, looking good. So that's our base. Now we have these two photos, and this photo kind of stays behind this one a little bit, and I would say we're about about here. Just slightly angled. Okay, and then this one is about here, I would say. So these are the two photos, but before we adhere those, so this blue circle goes underneath the paper here, about here, and then we have another little circle which almost disappears, but he is kind of tucked behind here, this photo here. So I want to make sure that I got these on first before we adhere the photos, and then I try to not overlap them too much, but a little is fine. Okay, let's put our circle down here. And then we can pop this one down. So this one is supposed to be 1 inch and 3/4, so about here. I would say about here is a good way. There we go. Now this one overlaps just a tad. Actually, we can make it not overlap at all. That might be easier. Okay. that's up to you. You can switch the size around if your photo is not a vertical one. It's a horizontal, and you just switch it around. Okay, and let's quick get our circle behind here before we push it down. About here. And this is good. Next thing we do is our circle. Part circle. And this one has stitching and the original layout, which we can do at the end. Connect to it. There we go. Now we just have to make sure that our title fits on here. Perfect. Okay. And we can raise the title, or we can put the title on as is. I think I'm just gonna put it on straight forward. And just make sure we're staying in the same vicinity here. There we go. Okay. Let's put gratitude on first. Scarf in there. And now we can continue with the rest of the embellishments. So this one goes about here, but they're using one of these nice wood stickers, and they're using this one here. And this should go down first, otherwise I have a real problem getting everything else in line. So let's see if we can peel off the backing again, nice and carefully. Okie doke, there it goes. And I will lay this down but not push down, so I have the chance to tuck behind my little leaves. Okay, so this end can go down, and then we just pop our two leaves behind here. One. And here goes the other one. Here's one of our pumpkins. Here's the other. And then our autumn goes right here. So one cluster done. Oh, there's one last one to build. And this one actually tucks in between here, so that's perfect. There's one. And this one kind of like goes here. Again, only on the bottom part of the leaf, because the top part is a little bit in the picture. Then we have this gore, and this one I like to raise. And with this one, the same thing. Make sure the top doesn't have any adhesive, so the picture can slide right underneath it. There we go. Now we have to put in this little leaf. Here's our coffee. And then, let's see, they used what looks like a leaf. So might this be this one. And then there are two smaller leaves that we're also going to use. So the one that they used here is this piece. Looks a little bit different than what I have here, but we could use this one too if we wanted to. Just use this one. Again, doesn't really matter which one you choose. There's plenty of leftovers. So let's put this one here. This is the sticky stuff. It's kind of like working with red sticky tape. Really sticky. Okay. There goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here we are. Now this one. Put in here. We need one little leaf. And the reason why I'm doing this right now is so when we go ahead and use the sticker, the round sticker, it will cover up the stems and everything that you see here. Okay. And one bigger leaf. Actually, to move this over just a little bit, if possible. There we go. Okay, that's better. And then we're gonna put this one down first. Put this one on top, and then stick this one on top of these two. Okay, now we have our sticker, and this time we have to use the embossing body again to take some of the stickiness off. Because the sticker will be raised. Still not happy where this thing is. Okay, let's see. There we go. Oh, it stays where it is. Okay. There's one little more heart. So when you peel the sticker off, you want to make sure you get the sticker and not this grid-like sticky stuff. Because if you peel that one off too, then it's really hard to get it down on your page. And this is almost it. We need one more little cluster up here. First, then one of our little acorn leaves. Well, could be a maple leaf. It's a maple. And put this one over here. Another leaf on top of this one. Then we use our little flower, and the flower gets popped up. And a little heart. And it's really tricky not to get the adhesive layer too. Here we are. Okay. And they colored their hearts in red, which I will do later, but okay, that is our first part. Wait, we need to do the little stitching. So I just use a black pen and do a little bit hand stitching around the edges here. You just follow the curve. And make your own little stitching. And coming back out here. And there you have it. Okay. Again, that was page 1. Let's get going with page 2. So page 2 has a few more elements on here. And as you can see, I got all my stickers and little fins, and there's a lot going on here. So I'll just push this aside for now. Yes, I did the same trick I did with the other pages. So this is the page that you're supposed to use. And this is a square that goes on top, and then the white one. Well, to me, again, that's wasted paper, so I cut the middle part out. Since we cover this up anyway, extra piece of paper. And to get started, I put the blue paper right up top and make sure that you have the dark side facing up of the cardstock. I know it might be hard to see here on the on my page on the camera, but when you get it, you should be able to see which side is the darker and which one is the lighter one. Okay, flip it over and make sure it's kind of square. Excuse me. Then we add our white cardstock to it. And that also should have an even frame around. And then they did these 3 pictures, quite a few fins on the side here, the circle here, and a cluster here. So let's start with our photos. So one photo is a 4x6 going this way. Which sits about here. And then we have 2 photos that are horizontal. They all butt up, so if you're not sure, you know, how far away, and I know it's sometimes hard to read because it says it's like 3/8 of an inch from one side, and so the easiest way to find out is these butt up together, and you want to make sure that your top, the side, and the bottom appear to have the same frame, you know, the same space around. And let me see, 2/3, 2/3, 2/8. Yeah, it's about 1/4 of an inch, so on either side. Okay, and the bottom is in this case actually a little bit bigger, but that's okay. So we have the circle here, which goes underneath the photo and about here. And then we have all these cute little flags. And I'm gonna start with those, at least to lay out, just to see where they are going. Because that way I know how much space and if I'm even with everything. Excuse me. Okay, so this needs to be moved over just a little bit. And that should be okay for the main layout. On the top here, we have this one, which is tucked a little bit underneath our photo here. There's a circle actually that goes behind it, but it just barely peeks out. And then this one is, there's one more sticker. Phrase. There it is. And we also need, this is one of the zip strips, but we only need a small piece of it. I would say about here. Cut. When you cut a fin, you go up in the middle of the piece and then go from one corner to the tip. One corner to the tip. And voila. So this one goes underneath here. And that should be it for these ones. So in order to get these somewhat in the right position, what I will do is I will take this one here first. I will adhere the circle first, because it only peeks out just a little bit, like so. Now for this paper, I'm gonna make sure that I'm not putting adhesive on the top or on the side really, so I can always tuck stuff behind. So I just go down a little bit and then put the adhesive on here and then place this back in here. Okay, now this one can go down as is. This one, we want to do the circle first to make sure circles covered, and then we do the same thing we did with the top one, just now adhesive on this side in case I have to tuck stuff behind. Okay, now we can start building up our little layer of fins. So this one is a die cut. These are all going to be die cuts here. So leave a little bit space and push this in like so. Then we do this one. Try to make it even so it's about the same distance between the two. Then we have this one. Tuck behind. Then we have this one here. That goes right here. We have our little book sticker. Then we have a little cluster of flowers. Some leaves. Raise this one here. It doesn't say if you have to raise it or not, but like I said, I sometimes do this on the fly, whatever feels like it works best. And then it asks for, you know, those little leaves. So here's one of these little ones that I'm gonna pull out. Same procedure as before, trying to get that really sticky cover off here. Here we are. Stick this underneath. I also put a little heart on the bottom, which we can do too. Here's a little heart. And stick this right here. And then we're moving on to the sweater. Now the sweater sits here. And I will cut this out so I don't have to use the embossing body for this big of a area. It's just easier. Well, at least for part of this piece. So here's the thing, half of the sweater kind of sits on top of the picture, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut this further out here. So what we're gonna do is I'm just folding back the half that's gonna stick to my page anyway, and keep the other half on here, and then just go down with my scissors. That way this piece that sticks over my photo is not gonna be sticky at all. And then the sweater just goes about here and sticks with the other side, so this side is still flexible. Here we have our little teapot. We have one of the flowers. And the flower I will raise and then stick my leaves, the ends of it, underneath. So here's my little flower. And then we have a couple leaves that go underneath here. One's gonna go over here. Then I have a blue one going down here. We have another one of our leaves. This one right here. Sticks between the two. We have another nice heart. This cluster is done. There will be these white journaling lines, a couple hanging out here, which I will add to this once everything is finished. Okay, now we have left this cluster on top here, and I'm gonna start with this piece here. And we're gonna start with this one here. Oops. Pulled up the strip. The adhesive wasn't quite dry yet. Okay, yeah, and there's a word blessed on it, but don't worry. You can leave it if you want, if this fits your theme. Now we're gonna put one leaf here. One leaf here. last one going in, and then we have our flower, and this one will be raised as well. And that is page number 2. So you have these many wooden stickers still left, quite a bit of paper, not much of the stickers. That's pretty much all the stickers that's left. And then we have our, oh, there's one more round one. And then we have some papers left to do eventually more cards or another page layout. So this is layout number 2. The one thing that they did was they doodled around the edges to make a nice frame, which we will do too. And all you need is a black pen. And yeah, it's hand drawn, so it's not gonna be straight on purpose. So just go around the edges here. And don't worry about if it's not a straight line. It's not meant to be a straight line. Here and here. And do the top. And that is it. If you like, you can do faux stitching around the circle, but this is the workshop the way it was called for. So here we have layout number 3. So that was the first page. This is the second page. Then we have layouts number 2. So that was the first page. This was the second page. And last but not least, that was when we started. So this is the first page and this is the second page. So these are 3 very pretty layouts, all pre-done for you. All you need is a little bit adhesive, some scissors, a black pen in this case, and you're ready to go. So I hope you enjoyed this little more in detail explanation of how our workshops work. And if you would like this one, I will post the information on the bottom. This is available till October 31st, and after that only while supplies last. I don't even think it might make it till the end of the month. So if you really like this set and would like to try it yourself, make sure you order it, because this might be gone quicker than we think. The order number for this one is G1237. And if you don't want the page protectors, it's an NP, no protectors at the end of this number. Otherwise, there's not really anything. Like I said, you can use any glitter brushes, ink pads you have to color in these wooden pieces, or you just leave them as they are. They're pretty this way as well. And just feel free to add whatever sparkle you want. Have a nice day and let me know if you have any questions. Bye bye.